He did it again. Omar, the con artist, a.k.a. the Don, a.k.a. the best damn GM in the NFL. People around the league have to be looking at themselves at this point and are just saying,
you can't keep getting away with it!
Because yesterday, when I did my initial reaction video to the Allen Robinson trade, we still didn't know the exact trade compensation or the contract details just yet. So it was tough to fully evaluate the trade. What did the Steelers give up? Was it exactly worth it? But now, since those details are out, I think it's safe to say the Steelers fleeced the Rams. Pittsburgh gets wide receiver Allen Robinson and a 7th round pick, number 251. While LA receives a 7th round pick from the Steelers, number 234. The Rams are to pay $10.2 million of Robinson's salary, while the Steelers will only pay $5 million. Robinson is scheduled to be in Pittsburgh for a physical Wednesday, which is today. So hopefully he gets cleared. So everything that we've been talking about over the last 24 hours isn't all for naught. But back to the trade and the compensation and what the Steelers had to give up. This just makes it a slam dunk for us. I think this was a no-brainer. It's a great move, low risk, high reward. All we did was literally swap 7th round picks. We moved back, 17 picks in the 7th round? Who cares about that? And we get a former Pro Bowl receiver who's still only 29, about to be 30, who hopefully can still play. He doesn't have to be the wide receiver 1 version of himself that he was in Chicago or the Jaguars. All he has to do is be a solid, capable, competent wide receiver 3, because we already have George Pickens and Deontay Johnson who are going to be filling the wide receiver and wide receiver 2 roles. And if you look back on last year and the production that we got out of our wide receiver 3 after we traded Chase Claypool, Steven Sims only gave us 100 yards. And this is no shot at Steven, because I actually think he played good for us. Stepped up in big moments. He was like a good security blanket for us, particularly in punt return game. Now, that's aside from being a receiver on offense, but you kind of get my point. But 100 yards isn't that much. If you look back on what Robinson did last year with the Rams, and he had a gimpy Stafford throwing to him, Baker Mayfield, and God knows who else, he got 300 plus yards, and that was him only playing in, I think it was 2/3 of the season. He missed a third of it. So just right there, he tripled what we got out of Steven Sims, and that's not even doing that good. That's a floor. I'd say coming into this year, if he could stay healthy, I'd expect at least 400 or 500 yards, but that would be good. Ceiling 800-900 as our wide receiver 3, and I think he's capable of that if he could stay healthy. Unfortunately, though, there have been some side perspectives or side angles, side theories that are being brought up about this Robinson trade. And since now Robinson is on the Steelers roster, does this open things up for the Steelers to trade Deontay Johnson? Come on, bruh. We couldn't wait 24 hours? Not even 24 hours before trading Deontay Johnson after we bring in a new receiver, getting him out of town. Why can't we have all these guys on the squad? The more the merrier. They're only going to help Pickett. You have Pickens and Deontay, Robinson, Anthony Miller, Calvin Austin. I think Deontay is only going to have a better year next year because him and Pickett's rapport is only going to develop to get better. They've been working this whole offseason. It got better at the second half of last season, too. People might bring up the Deontay contract, the $18 million, his production last year didn't exactly match that. I will say this, though. Can we give Deontay a little bit benefit of the doubt, considering we weren't much of a passing offense last year and the quarterback situation, the back and forth between Pickett and Mitch? Now, yes, he didn't help himself in scenarios. He did have some drop touchdowns. He did have some drops, for sure. We know that. We talked about that last season. But again, I still think Deontay is a good receiver. We just want him to be better than a good or really good receiver. We want him to be elite because we saw the impact and what it could mean for a team when you do have an elite receiver like an AB. It's just different. But Deontay in and of his own right, multiple 1,000-yard receiver, Pro Bowler, still good. There's those stats out there. He creates the most separation. The one metric, I think it was an ESPN metric, said he was a top 5 receiver last year. Now I think that's a little bit too far, but no, Deontay's good. There's no reason to rock the boat because the contract's not even that bad right now. I know it's the $18 million for this year, but After this year, it becomes more in the Steelers' favor because Deontay could be a cap casualty. The Steelers would save like $10 million by cutting him. Not saying they would go in that direction, but again, there's no reason to rush this at all. Just keep these guys on offense. Like, we can afford it. Omar Khan's working the numbers right now. To have a Pickens and Deontay as your top 2 receivers, and then bring in Allen Robinson as wide receiver 3. You have a Pat Freiermuth and a Najee Harris. Like, that's damn good. Like, this should be a good offense. And these receivers can work together and like complement each other's skill sets, because there was this one stat I saw of the receivers in 2022 with 150 more run blocking offensive snaps. Allen Robinson graded out as the 9th best on PFF with a grade of 68.9. And he played a decent amount in the slot last season. So, yeah, we could just have Allen Robinson in the slot, Deontay and Pickens on the outside. But also Pickens and Deontay could play the slot, and Robinson could play outside. You could rotate these dudes, show the versatility. And basically, we've been talking about that with our secondary, with us bringing in Patrick Peterson. But now I think we can do it on offense. And then don't forget, we got a speedster in Calvin Austin. So I don't think there's any reason to go crazy and rock the boat. You got guys with veteran leadership. You got guys with that blue-collar mentality, ain't afraid to hit, be physical. Like, I really like what we're doing here. The other thing, though, that people are bringing up, and let me go over this real quick before I sign off. Allen Robinson, who made the better receiver move? The Steelers or the Ravens? Allen Robinson with the Steelers, Odell Beckham with the Ravens. On the surface or in a vacuum, I think most people would say, yeah, you take Odell Beckham over Allen Robinson. But the thing to consider is the contract. Steelers are getting Allen Robinson for 7th-round pick swaps and are only going to be paying him $5 million. Whereas with Odell and the Ravens, they're giving him 15 guaranteed incentives up to 18. I'll be interested to see. Now, this would be a funny, like, prop, not even funny prop bet. I think it'd be a cool prop bet to see who has the better season between the two. If one of these gambling apps can, like, say who has more receiving yards between Allen Robinson and Odell. And also, these dudes are connected from the Rams as well, because Odell was on the Rams during the Super Bowl run, but then he injured his ACL and everything, and the Rams didn't bring him back. Obviously, he sat out all of last season, but brought in Allen Robinson as Odell's replacement. Now you got both of these guys going to AFC North rivals, and on, you know, different contracts. I think there's different thoughts of what each player is going to mean to their team. A lot more hype for Odell, whereas with Robinson, we're like, does this dude still got it? Either way, with us only paying him $5 million, this is a low-risk move. So it would be interesting if you could, like, add up, kind of like fantasy, if you could add up the receiving yards, the receptions, and the touchdowns for each player to see who has the better season for their respective teams. Both dudes have some injury history, too, because that could be a little interesting wrinkle as well. But let me know what you guys think of the whole Allen Robinson trade. Just wanted to go over more of it as more details came out, because as we found out more, it just looks like a better and better deal for the Steelers here. But also, does this mean we trade Deontay? What type of role do you think Allen Robinson has in this offense? And do you think this is a better move for the Steelers than it was for the Ravens when they brought in Odell? But that's it for this edition of Big Deke News on a Wednesday. Stay chillin'. Peace.